Hi, I'm Ravi Dhingra. In this video, I'm going to talk about product photography, especially for the purpose of e-commerce or online selling. When we do photography for e-commerce purposes, there are certain things which need to be taken care of. So I'm going to explain those aspects which we have to take care of while doing photography for e-commerce or online sale purposes. While photographing for e-commerce purposes, you have to keep one very important thing in mind, that the client is not able to see products before buying. So your photographs should be able to describe the product, the shape, the form, the color, the texture, and all the design elements. In this video, I have used this camera which is mounted on a tripod, but any camera will do, including your smartphone camera, mobile camera. All you have to do is buy a mobile holder like this, which is easily available online, and you have to put your camera, your phone in it, and put it on a tripod.
Let's talk of the setup first. Here you can see that the setup is put next to a window. As per one of the lighting principles, closer the light source, softer will be the light and softer will be the shadows. Most of the times we use soft light for photography. Soft light create soft shadows. Another reason for this setup is the large window. Size of the window is much bigger than the size of the product, the bottle which is lying in the setup. Another lighting principle is that larger the light source, softer will be the light. Small light source will create harsh or dark shadows which will not look nice in your photographs. Coming to the camera position now, as you can see that the camera is mounted on a tripod. Height of the camera is almost in the middle of the tripod. Another thing to note here is that the camera is parallel to the subject. This will help in getting the correct shape of the product. Camera tilting down or tilting up will cause distortion in the shape of the product. One more thing you need to notice here is that the camera is put in a vertical position since the product is tall. Depending on the shape of the object, you choose the camera position. Vertical or portrait if the object is tall, horizontal or landscape position if the product is broad. Just to sum up, camera position is very important in product photography. First, you have to decide whether you want to use the vertical position or horizontal position, which will depend on the shape of the product. If the product is broad, use horizontal or landscape position, and if the product is tall, vertical or portrait position will work. Second important thing is the height of the camera. It has to be almost at the middle of the subject. And lastly, the camera should be placed parallel to the subject to get the accurate shape of the product in your photographs. If the camera is tilting down or up, there will be a distortion in the shape of the product. Here, tripod plays a very important role. First, since we are working indoors, light is not sufficient to take photographs holding the camera in hand. Shutter speed is slow, so there's a likelihood of camera shake. Secondly, camera position can easily be fixed when using the tripod. How we use available light for lighting the subject is very important. Here the product is very close to the light source and window size is much bigger than the subject. We are able to achieve soft light. However, there may be a situation when direct light may be coming through the window, which may be harsh light and create dark shadows. Here I have brought down the blind which is fixed on the window, due to which the light which is entering now is very diffused and very soft. In case you don't have blind, just use a white thin translucent fabric on the window which will help in getting soft and diffused light. Let's talk about the background for this setup. I have used a white chart paper which is easily available in any stationery shop. One thing you have to take care is not to fold the paper. Here you can see that a curve is happening on paper between the wall and the setup table. This will give a seamless, creaseless, joint-free look in the background, which will be of great help while editing. Here is the front view of the setup and background. You can see that the background behind the subject is seamless. There are no folds or creases visible, which is going to be very helpful while editing. Now I'll explain the camera settings. I have put the camera in aperture priority mode since the subject is stationary, it is not moving. and I have kept the aperture at f11. Depending on the depth of field you may need, you can change the aperture value. At f11, this particular product will appear overall sharp in the photographs. Since the camera is mounted on a tripod, I'm not worried about camera shake, and that's why ISO in the camera is kept at 100. Shutter speed is determined by the camera. You will notice here that the light is coming from one direction, one side, other side is getting dark, and some details of product are not visible on the shadow side. We will use a reflector here which will work as fill light. In the lighting setup hacks video for photography, I have described V card or bounce card. I'm going to use the same bounce card here. You will notice that the shadow which was being created because of direction of light from one side has lightened and details of product are visible on the shadow side now. I have used a silver gift wrapping paper for making this V card bounce card. Simply pasted it on a thick white sheet. In e-commerce photography or for online sales, the client is not looking at the product, but only the photographs of the product. By looking at the photograph, the client makes a decision whether to buy or not. So while photographing products for e-commerce online sale purpose, we do not restrict ourselves by just taking one photograph. We take multiple angles of the product so that all the product details like design, color, shape, dimension, texture are visible in the images. In this product, you can see that the camera position, which is almost at the middle of the product, horizontal and is parallel to the subject. But one thing to note here is that due to camera position, the details on the top of this box are not visible in the photograph. Since we are talking of multiple angles of product, after taking the basic product photograph, we need to change camera position to get all the product details in our photographs. So I'm increasing the height of the camera and will tilt the camera down. Now you can see that the height of the camera has increased and camera is tilting down, because of which all the details on the top of the product will be visible in the photographs. For multiple angles, camera position is changed and position of the subject is also changed to capture all the possible details.
I hope you liked the video and found it informative. In case you have any questions or queries, please write in the comments.